I remember when I was a kid, every year for Christmas, I would get a new Sega game from my parents. So one year I got Sonic 3, another year I got Tiny Toon Adventures, but then, one year, my parents would make the biggest mistake of their lives. They bought me Ball Jacks for the Sega Mega Drive. So, what is there to say about Ball Jacks? The game was developed and published by one of the biggest companies back in the 80s and 90s, Namco Limited. Namco Limited is the name behind big blockbusters like Pac-Man or Galaga and the Tekken series. Ball Jacks was released in 1993 for the Sega Mega Drive. The whole concept of the game is that you are controlling a crab that grabs the opponent's balls. And the goal is to grab all the balls over to your side. Having all the balls will start the opponent's countdown, and if it reaches 0, you win. You can also win by having the most balls as the timer runs out, which is 3 minutes. The game includes a total of 12 different levels, though the right term would be a total of 12 different opponents. Let me just show you what a match in Ball Jacks looks like. Wake up. I'm just taking a guess that half of you fell asleep right now. But yeah, that is the game, people. As I said, there are 16 different levels, but nothing changes except the background and your opponent's appearance. The game doesn't introduce anything new during the levels, which, I won't lie, is a bit of a disappointment. It could do so much to make the game more fun to play. It could have levels with fog that made it harder to see. You could have the conveyor belt go the other way, or even change direction through the match. Some balls could do more damage, making you have to play a bit more safe. You could have different power-ups that you can grab, like, there is so much you could do. Now, I could go on and say that the game comes off as pretty lazy, but the facts are, this game was made by a total of 6 people from Namco. Well, damn. That's actually impressive then. So that might be the reason this game is a bit lackluster, but at the same time, it's no excuse. Personally, I don't see any reason why this game should be released on the Sega Mega Drive at all. And remember, this game was sold at full price back in the days. This game was released the same year as games like Batman Return of the Joker, Mortal Kombat 2, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Hyperstone Heist. I do have a theory though to why this game exists. Back in the 80s and 90s, Namco was most famous for making arcade games. As I mentioned, they made Pac-Man and Galaga, some of the greatest arcade successes of all times. Well, their biggest rival in the arcade department was Sega. Sega produced a ton of arcade games back in the days. Games like Frogger, Crazy Taxi, Virtual Fighter, and Golden Axe, to name a few. So when it came to arcade games, Sega might have been their biggest competitor by far. So my theory is that Namco gathered their 6 best and worst developers and formed a special task force with one mission: infiltrate and destroy Sega from the inside. They started developing a game that would be so mind-numbingly boring and bland that the kids who played it would lose all faith in the future of Sega. It's the only explanation, and goddamn, it almost worked. I'm pretty sure I played this game for less than 1 hour total since it came into my possession that fateful Christmas evening. The thing is, you start playing the game and after 10 minutes, you realize that this is it. This is the entire game. This one screen that you're looking at, that's it. And take into consideration, I was used to playing games like Sonic 1, Sonic 2, Castle of Illusion, and even games like Wonder Boy 3: The Dragon's Trap for the Sega Master System. It could have some redeeming factors if it was at least nice to look at, or the music is great. But it's not. Just listen to this. So, in conclusion, Ball Jacks for the Sega Mega Drive is probably one of the worst, if not the worst game that has ever been made for the Sega Mega Drive. Do you have other games that you think are worse than Ball Jacks? Then please comment below and I will put it to the test.